Hey guys, Typh here with a Minecraft Dungeons guide on how to farm the Desert Temple Obsidian chest. Just before I get into it, I'll just quickly go through some of the key parts of my gear that help me run it so efficiently. Starting off first and foremost with the pair of Boots of Swiftness, one for each foot. The idea behind having two of them is being able to overlap the duration to go against the cooldown, so I'm basically almost continuously moving faster. We'll see why that's very important once we actually get running. And the other artifact, of course, being a deathcap mushroom, partly for the movement speed again, but on the in the odd instance where I actually do have to take some mobs down or a big pack, which you might see. Deathcap mushroom is exactly what you want for that. Nothing too much on the exploding crossbow. This I use primarily for another type of farm that I do. It's helped me get up to level 116 so quick. There's nothing too much to really say on this. It's got infinity, it has extra damage, and it explodes. It does AoE, so it's okay. It's okay. Now the scale mail, this is a bit of a sort of just throw together piece, really. Mostly because I've not looked through what I've got since I've been farming. But it does kind of have everything I need for two kind of farms. In particular, this has the potion barrier, which if I just go over now, because you've probably ignored it yourself. None have really used it up until this point. I didn't think too much of it. Always went for more of the powerful stuff, or I was, prioritising other things for other builds or whatever. But a 9-second duration for 90% damage reduction is not to be sniffed at, especially with some of the mobs in the Desert Temple, which hopefully I'll be able to showcase and highlight that effectiveness as we get in there. And last but by no means least, I've got the Last Laugh. The enchantment to mention on this one is going to be Radiance. Again, this is one that I actually overlooked first playing, and then it wasn't until I ended up swapping over my chest piece and losing my life steal aura that I started looking at alternative ways to basically keep myself going. This is obscene, really, with the attack speed of the sickles. This is always proccing. The same can also be said for critical hit, same chance to proc, triple damage. It's great, and the gravity on these is actually useful for if I need to get mobs out of the way, if I'm not wanting to kill them and just, again go for the efficiency side of things. And just get them out the way so I don't die. So I think that covers it for gear. Right, excellent. In that case then, on with the route. So this will work on any difficulty, as long as you're not too undergeared. I struggled when I was on like Apocalypse 3 to do Apocalypse 5 runs, trying to skip the mobs and things, and that's how this kind of build sort of come about. Obviously I wouldn't say it's like an endgame killing build or boss build or anything like that, but for the sake of getting so far through a dungeon, looting stuff, repeating, this, as you can see, I have a tendency to loot these as well, which will slow you down a bit. If you're going purely for loot, you could probably skip these. If you can skip these, then you've got more willpower than I've got, because every time I see them, I weave mobs and things just to hit them, even if they're off track sometimes. I'm terrible for it. But as you can see, with these boots of speed, and even taking a couple of hits is fine, but it helps you weave really well to avoid the things like the tarantulas, golems apparently, and all sorts of nasty projectiles and things that get thrown at you during your adventures. Top notch stuff. Right, so once you get to here, it tells you to find a gold key. A gold key is just in here. That right there is why I have the potion barrier, because all hell's about to break loose now. I'm going to grab that anyway, pop the deathcap mushroom, try and cleave down enough of these mobs so that I can actually get to the guys that are casting them and spawning them, and kill them before I die. Sometimes it works, a lot of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how much I get knocked back, I find, really. And I thought with 3 of them that would have been a lot more difficult than it was, but as you can see, yeah, made quick work of that, ish, just with the cooldowns. And even though the cooldown of the potion is something like 45 seconds or something, you usually find you only have one combat like that during each run. So it kind of works out, I've found, quite well. And then once you get to here, you want this room on the left. It'll always be on the left. And then when you get inside here, this room will have one of two layouts. This is what I call the bad layout, because this one doesn't actually allow you to access the obsidian chest, but I will show you where you go for the other chest anyway whilst we're here. And it's not that, but bear with me a second. I actually find it easy to go kind of like that. That's it. You just want to get up to the top, and this one here always spawns there, guaranteed every time. But what I'm hopefully going to do now is restart this and show you the other layout, so I can show you exactly how to get to the obsidian chest. Now I do believe that this is done purposefully with the layouts to make sure that people can't just mass open. I mean, I've been doing it anyway, but you know, mass open obsidian chest, kind of have to put some sort of kind of like a half blockade thing sort of thing in the way, just to make sure you can't always just get it. But I mean, it's not stopped me from just doing it enough times until I've got my sickles or whatever that I've been after. I mean, I'm still after a nice powered legendary chest with damage reduction and I think life steal. I think that's what I had previously at a lower power, and then replaced it eventually with the scale mail, because even though it was 89 power and legendary, a 100 common was actually better just in terms of raw health and stats. So, or is it? It's mostly just health, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I got a melee damage increase and still got the damage reduction as well, so that's why I picked the scale mail, I imagine then, yeah. Just to help out where possible. And again, just follow the hex path marker things, waypoint markers. So even when the summoners are here, and that because it's such an open space and nowhere near where you need to be, you can just ignore them. Just keep on weaving until you get to this bit again. Don't really need to open that chest. It's just a spider, that's fine. Depending on how many mobs are in that first bit, definitely do like to clear them. It's pretty much a necessity to clear these ones here, just because of how narrow it is. I mean, you can skip the ones that spawn in this narrow confine, but I've tried trying to skip like all of it, and you just end up on the flight, you know, on the floor in pieces. So weave past like so. Don't need that chest. TNT, sorry. Look at that. Yeah. And then back into this room again. Hopefully we'll get the chest one. Yes, we did. So as you can see, this one's rotated so many degrees in a certain direction. Hey, look, it's different. Cool. But going along that same side that I rolled on last time, you can now see what I rolled onto. And you can now see the door, and now the obsidian chest that's inside. So like I said, this isn't always guaranteed, but if you get this layout, it's always going to be there. Ain't that a thing, eh? Yeah, 2 TNT and an arrow bundle to boot. Aren't we spoiled? But don't forget, guys, as well, there's always this chest up here as well, so don't just get your nice legendary out of the obsidian chest and leave, because even if you do get a common and just some things like that, it all salvages, doesn't it? So it all counts. I think that's about it for this run, guys. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Minecraft Dungeons related content in the very near future, then by all means subscribe to the channel and comment down below this video anything in particular you'd like to see. I've got a few ideas for a few more farm runs and things. I'm going to take a look at optimizing a few of them, and you know, getting those videos out. I was also thinking of maybe doing some sort of obscure build videos. Maybe you'd like to see that, or maybe even like obscure leveling methods. I mean, you know, there's almost an inexhaustible list really, but if you can give us some ideas and some food for thought below, that would be absolutely fantastic. And with that, guys, I'll bid you farewell. Take care.